to all of you. I'm Marianne. I'm a Iyengar teacher that lives in a little coastal village called Hermanus in South Africa. And I am going to teach to you today a varied class, and we are focusing on the different elements: the earth, the water, the fire, the air and the ether elements, and we're going to integrate that into our asana practice today. First pose is Tadasana, the mountain pose. So stand for the first moment just with your feet hip-width apart. Be on your heels. There's a horseshoe around each heel. Be evenly on your horseshoe. Be on the ball mount of your big toe, ball mount of your little toe. Lift your kneecaps. Take the buttocks down to the heels. Lift the front body, shoulders back and down, and extend into your fingertips. So we are focusing for the first few moments on feeling grounded. Take a few breaths here and just imagine under each foot that you are growing roots. You're grounding yourself with Mother Earth, and in that way you feel that you're lifting up. The more you ground your feet, the more there's the feeling of extension upwards. Get that lightness in your pose. And now from here, bring the 2 feet together. In the previous video, we did balancing. So if you have any doubt about these poses, go back, practice. First pose is Vrikshasana, the tree pose, where you're very welcome to have a chair or a wall as help next to you. If you know that the balance is fragile or if there's a reason, so you've got a balance for the hand. Standing Tadasana, ground yourself again, really get that feeling of growing roots. The right leg is staying firmly grounded. Bring your left foot into your right inner leg and open up that knee to the side as if you open up a page of a book, your groins are opening up. Take your right hip, take it into the body, and then take the arms out to the side, stretch into your fingertips and lift up and ground yourself. Think of earth element. Even breaths here, extending up because you are grounding yourself so well. And then from there, come down and Tadasana. So you focus on that element of earth. We're on to the other side. So this time you're standing on your left leg. You have your chair, your wall close by in case you need it. Already root that left leg. As you do so, last week we saw that that other side becomes light and ready for the pose. Put the leg firmly into, the foot firmly into the leg. Suck that outer left hip in. The right knee is out to the side. The pages of the book is opening up. And when you're ready, stretch up. Now as you go into this pose, feel that standing leg grounding. Really be firm there. Roots are growing into the earth. And as you get those roots settled, you get that extension upwards. Lifting, lifting, lifting action. Lightness comes in the pose because you are grounded so well. And then come down. Now you know that you're welcome to press the pause button at any time and redo. The next pose is Garudasana, the eagle pose. Before we go into the eagle pose, we do Utkatasana just to get the action right. I'll show from the side and we can do together. You're standing Tadasana. First, just place the hands on the hips. Squeeze the outer thighs towards each other and roll the inner thighs back, inner groins back. Abdomen in. Inhale, take the hands up to the ceiling, bend your knees and roll those inner groins towards each other and just imagine the legs becoming one leg. Buttocks down to the heels, abdomen in and up, and bring the buttocks more to the heels and stretch. Root the feet. Be solid. And then inhale up and release. Take a breath. So I'll show and then we'll do case you need it, we're going to go into our eagle pose, Garudasana, where we've got to level the hips, be firm on the standing leg, and remember, if your right leg is at the bottom, your right arm is on top. Whichever leg is at the bottom, that arm is on top. And you're going to feel that groundedness in your pose. Support if you need it. Standing on your 2 feet well. You're going to be standing on your right leg first, and you're going to wrap your left leg around. Remember, you're standing on the right little mantra, right arm on top. Inhale as you exhale, Garudasana, bend the knees. Now you bring your left leg over, and if you need your support, you hold it. Level the hips to the front. You've got to be very firm on your standing leg, tailbone in, buttocks down. Straighten the legs slightly, and your right arm on top. Now as you do this pose, remember that you are grounding yourself, and because of that you can have more of a lift. Deep inhalation, full exhalation, and come out of your poses. So it's not a full-on balancing class here, but you get the idea that you need to ground yourself. Over to the other side. So this time you're standing on your left leg. Tadasana first. Balance on the 2 feet evenly. Utkatasana action. And now you are standing firmly on the left leg, right leg around. Hips level. Once you're there, you take your left arm on top. Sorry, I have to check here for a moment because I'm doing mirror image. Left arm on top. Firm balance there with the foot rooting into the floor. And that lift coming, that inner extension coming because of your groundedness. Connect with Mother Earth. So remember, all of these balances, you need that connection. And release. Get your breath. So from earth, we're going to move into water. The first water element pose that we're going to do here is Trikonasana. But remember that I've picked out certain poses just to explain a concept. In one pose, you can find all the elements, often. Today, the reason why I chose Trikonasana is it's rounded well, and then there's a rotation, and that rotation is like water flowing, so the water element. We do together. Tadasana, middle fingers touch. Bend the knees, exhale. With the inhalation, feet apart. Turn your right leg out. Lift toes in slightly. Now you're already firming the legs, you are grounding the feet. Inhale as you extend, reach, and into Utthita Trikonasana. So in this Utthita Trikonasana, we are flowing into the pose and rolling. So there's a water element here. And I often like to describe the whole aspect of asanas as the asana being a container, like a container for a flower or water. And you are the water when you pour yourself into that container. So become the asana. And you're rotating to look to the ceiling. Inhale as you exhale, up you come. Firm legs, feet to the front. Relax the shoulders. Left leg out, right toes slightly in. Inhale, exhale, pour yourself into Trikonasana. So you've done videos just on Trikonasana, you're beginning to slowly understand the pose, and you think of the aspect of water here. I'm flowing into my asana. Exhale with the inhalation, up you come, feet forwards, and back to Tadasana. Get the breath. Now, the water element can be described in the asana or the way we string asanas together in a vinyasa, which is a flow. So we're going to do a flow together, and you just have to keep your cool here and just be with me. Have a chair or props close by for in case you need it. My people that have got knee issues, they know themselves and they know what to do and how to adjust. Okay, so stand in Tadasana and just follow. Feet hip width apart. Inhalation, arms up. Exhale over to the right. Stretch the side of the body. You are like a willow tree in the wind. Inhale, come up. Over to the left side. Feel that wonderful stretch on the side of the body. Come back to center. Place the hands on the hips and just step your feet apart, not wide apart. Turn the toes slightly out. Inhale, as you exhale, bend the knees. Place the hands in Namaskar. And we're in a beautiful squat here. So the one pose is flowing into the other. Inhale, come up. Widen the feet a little bit. Turn your right foot out, left toes in slightly for what you've just done. Utthita Trikonasana, flowing into it. Inhale, as you exhale, you take your back foot a little bit back and you bend your right knee. And you in your Virabhadrasana 2 action. Remember about the abdomen moving towards the opposite side than the bent knee. Inhale as you exhale. Utthita Parshvakonasana with that forearm on the thigh. Resist there to keep the rotation going. Inhale, come up. And now you just turn to face your right foot. You bring the knee to the floor and you take the hands up and lunge deep. In a Virabhadrasana action, but on the floor. Inhale as you exhale, hands down, tuck the back toes under, walk your hands forwards, bring your feet in and toes slightly out, bend the knees and back to your squat. So we're flowing from pose to pose and it doesn't make them sloppy, we're precise in every action. Crown of the head lifted, feet grounded. Inhale, up you come, feet slightly wider, left foot out, right toes in, arms extended, and we pour ourselves into our Trikonasana. We widen the legs slightly, and we go into Virabhadrasana 2. Feeling every pose sharp, sharp. Inhale as you exhale. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale up, turn, and on the knee, place the hand, and inhale up, and release deep into the pose. Inhale as you exhale, tuck the toes, walk the hands, widen your legs for Prasarita Parottanasana, and release as deep as you can go into the pose. If you cannot get the head down, you can hold the legs, elbows out and just release. Exhale with the inhalation, hands underneath the shoulders. Zigzag your feet in once. Strong legs, inhale up, arms out to the side and back to center. And then your breath. So you've now done the earth element, grounded yourself. You've done the water element, where you felt the flowing in a specific asana, and in a vinyasa, where we strung the poses together. And now from earth to water, you go to fire. And for the fire element, we're going to get onto all fours, so we do together. You place your hands directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees are underneath your hips. Stretch your right leg out, your left leg out, and you're in your plank. And in plank position, you've got to really engage the abdominal area. Extend into your crown of your head, so you look slightly ahead. Careful of buttocks lifting to the ceiling, so there must be a wonderful straight line. Top of the buttocks moving to the heels, toes moving closer, heels back, and just stay. Hands are firm and you're lifting from there. And your waist is not dropping. And then from there, inhale, come down, and you're just going to sit back into Dandasana here. Sit upright. Okay, so you wiggle until you feel you really are on the two butter bones here. Bend your legs. And keep the hands behind the knees. We're going to do Paripurna Navasana first with bent legs. So it's the fire element that we need to get into this pose. So you have to light the fire. Fire needs air. You know, when you light a fire and there's no air or oxygen, it can't burn. So you need to breathe when you do these poses. Don't get hard. Breathe. Hands behind the knees. Walk your feet in, stay on your two butter bones. Exhale, inhale, and just stay for a moment. Breathe. Stretch the legs, extend into your heels, extend into the ball mounts of the feet. If you can let go of your arms, let go. And breathe. Remember to breathe here. And then release. So let's just repeat that once more, and you can go to the extent that you need, but you've got to convince yourself here that you're breathing properly, that you're not holding the breath, and just think of that heat that you're generating in the pose. Dandasana. Inhale as you exhale into Paripurna Navasana to your own extent. Try to keep the chest as close to the thighs as possible. Don't always look at the teacher. Extend into your fingertips, straighten your legs, and release. And get the breath. Yes, in these poses, the breath gets hurried and the body gets very alive. Okay, so we move on to the element of air. So we're obviously going to think more of the lungs. And we are first of all going to do Virabhadrasana 1, where we really open that chest. And I'm going to use the straps around the wrist as a little bit of a help so that we can stay longer. Okay, so get your strap. And you're going to put the strap shoulder width over your wrists. See, I can go a little bit tighter. If you don't have one, you don't have one. Then you can, but I think you all have straps. Okay, so you're going to put the strap on and just check that the distance is right. Okay, then we step to the back end of the mat. Standing Tadasana. Already think I'm going to deal with the air element that will bring that lightness in my pose. So I'm going to be very aware of opening up my chest space. So you take your right foot out and you step your left foot wide forward. Okay, so the left toes are pointing slightly forward, the heel back. And exhale with the inhalation, bend that left knee. Take the hands forwards. Inhale up. The strap might be in your face, don't worry about that. Now tuck the tailbone in, lift your chest, and make sure that you're bending deep enough. And you want to make a 90-degree angle here. Now with the help of the strap, you can contain yourself easier. Abdomen in, chest open, and now breathe when you're here. Fully active back leg. Your front leg stays 90 degrees, and you're lifting that chest. Take the arms further back. Feel the openness in the chest, feel the air element. So you're grounding yourself, the earth element is there. You're lifting up. There's a fire in the belly also, but you focus on the air element. Then exhale and straighten the leg and step forwards. Okay, so can you see how you can actually contain yourself much better because you've got the strap over the wrist. You can really last. Tadasana. You take the left toes out slightly and you step that right leg forwards. Just clear your strap from your face And then from there, bend that knee, 90-degree angle. So I've got to bring this whole abdominal area from left to right. Lift your spine. Anchor the four corners of the foot, of the front foot. Push into the back foot. Inhale, hands up. Stretch. Tailbone in, chest lifted. Active back leg. 90-degree on your front leg. Four corners of the front foot anchor. And there's the feeling of stability and lifting and the lungs opening up and the breath awareness. Infuse yourself with the element of air. Release. And step forwards. Strap away. Press the pause button if you need to and redo. Now, we're actually going to still be with our strap. We do Chatushpadasana. If you have a foam close by, it's always good to place it between the feet to get the stability of the pose. Let me just show you what you're going to do. Strap is around my ankles. If you've got very long arms, you can hold your ankles, but don't compromise by trying to reach. And I'm going to be firm on the ball mount of the foot, and I'm really going to open my heart space and my chest space for that air element to enter the body. Okay, so you lie down, get your position. Straps over the ankles, four corners of the feet anchored, and you're pushing the inner parts of the feet into that foam to get the alignment right. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Up you go. Once you're there, just breathe and soften the abdominal area, lift the hips, lift the outer hips and push that ball mounts of the big toes firmly into the floor and your inner legs goes down and keep on lifting, keep on lifting. You've got to continuously think, are you not widening your knees out? And then release. And just be with the back flat on the floor for a moment. Inhale and exhale. So very aware of breath here. Then over to the right side. We're going to do Ustrasana. So in Ustrasana, sometimes we place support behind the knees. I'm quickly going to get my bolster to show. Okay. So I'll first show the pose that we're going to do and then I'll show the adjustments. So buttocks in, buttock flesh down. If you need support, if you can't reach the back of your legs, you place enough support behind your thighs and knees so that you can reach. If you can't reach, keep the hands on the hips. So air element, lightness, buoyancy. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest, inhale, and take the hands on the support or on your ankles. And you press simultaneously on those two ankles or feet. Lift the chest and breathe. Extend into the crown of your head. Then exhale with the inhalation. Up you come. Chest first, head's last. And just sit down for a moment. I want to repeat this because what happens in this pose is often people find the one foot and then the other foot, so you don't find them together. It's very important to reach for them together. And also, you don't throw the head back immediately. So let me first show. And remember, you need to keep the alignment of the knees and fronts of the hips so you don't lean back. Okay, buttocks in. So my top buttock flesh goes down to my backs of my knees. My middle buttocks goes forwards and my creases of my buttocks moves outwards like a big smile. Simultaneously, I find my 2 feet, lift the chest, and then just softly extend the crown of the head back. Even breaths. Okay, so let's do together again. So your 2 shins are like 2 big feet. Look and see that the heels are in alignment with the knees and the toes. Roll the shoulders back, top part of flesh down, middle part toes forwards and the smile outwards. Find your 2 heels or feet simultaneously. Lift the chest, extend into the crown of the head. And easy, even breaths. Then exhale, lift the chest, lift the head, and just for a moment come down, sit down in Vajrasana. Just get your quietness in your breath. Just contemplate for a moment, reflect. You were grounded, you had the earth element when you did your balancings. Then you did Trikonasana and you did that flow of poses where you thought of water running, taking the path of least resistance. And then it was the fire element where you used the abdominal area, you did your Paripurnanavasana and you were really very aware of fire. You did the plank and you held it. Then air element. You opened up the lungs in the action of the Virabhadrasana, the warrior pose with the strap around your arms and your chest was opened up, and then the back bend actions here. Now the last element is the most subtle element. It's a very delicate element, and it's the element of ether, which some people relate to that higher level of consciousness. So we're going to work on the ether element, and I want you just to get to a standing position and stand in your Tadasana with your feet apart. Remember, it's slightly pigeon-toed. You've got your feet completely yogi feet. There's no duck feet, it's slightly in. Outer edges of your feet, you align with the edges of your mat. Find the balance on the 4 corners, ground yourself, roll the shoulders back, extend into your fingertips. Really make the arms active. And then from here, I want you to focus on the crown of the head, the lightness that comes when the legs are firmly planted. There's this lifting feeling. Iyengar said that we are as human beings, spend our time on earth between the element of earth and the element of heaven. So we are here, balanced between these 2 elements. Now find the space. Space inside of you, space around you. And just see yourself as like balanced in this space perfectly. You are grounded so well and lifting up in the same manner with the same force that you feel that you're completely balanced and quiet. Get that feeling of spaciousness inside of you, around you. And then from here, you're going to come down, you're going to sit either on a chair if you've got knee issues, otherwise you sit on your bolster or phones. And we're going to sit for our last exercise here. You can sit cross-legged. And we are going to do just a few minutes of breathing together. Now just settle, sit upright, and observe what I'm doing here. I'm going to do my Brahmari breath. So I'm going to bring my chin into a Jalandhara Bandha action. So I'm not losing my posture. Chest is open, chin to the chest. And then from there, I exhale. Take a deep inhalation. And I go on until the end of the breath, and then I do a normal breath in between, and then we redo. We'll do this 3 times. Feel that gentle touch of the vibration of sound in your body. You might feel it in your head, in your sinuses. Sometimes we direct that breath to where we need it. So let's just work with the head today. You're going to feel this breath in your sinus cavities, in your head, and just feel that gentle vibration. Sit upright, chest is open, Jalandhara Bandha action. Exhale. Inhale fully. Normal inhalation, normal exhalation. Inhale fully. Continue with another round of Brahmari breath. Just be with the sound of your own breath vibrating in your body. Feel where you feel those vibrations. And it enhances this element of ether, of spaces in the body, filling it with sound vibration. Normal inhalation, normal exhalation. Then another full inhalation. And you do another Brahmari breath. Remember that this practice of breathing comes from a place of softness and receptivity. This is a very good breath for sleeplessness, very good for the sinuses, and it really has a calming effect on the body. At the end of this breath, you place yourself for Shavasana, so you really take time to set up carefully, be warm enough, and be willing to have a good 5 minutes of Shavasana minimum. It's such a wonderful way to restore the body. And you've opened up all these spaces to do a wonderful Shavasana. I'm just going to touch my Tibetan bowl a few times and then I'm going to leave you to enjoy your Shavasana. I just want you to listen to the sound of the Tibetan bowl. It's a little bit like your Brahmari breath. And that vibrations of that Brahmari breath is still happening in your cells.